Okay, so we have ATGiant as the green Protoss spawning in the bottom right on Ohana, and well, we're probably just going to rehost.
No, I don't think so. The only problem is that we're not
No,
referees.
we're not referees, so we're just going to go on his opponent Mythology's ViperGS spawning in the top as the yellow Protoss. So so far, the only thing we can tell you guys is that Giant opted to scout directly after his first pylon. So he wants to be really safe. Either it's that, or he's not confident in his scouting cues by scouting around his base. The other reason, of course, can be that he's planning on stealing his opponent's gas and trying to force him into some type of all-in play. Which, you know, is always uncomfortable when somebody does that to you.
Yeah, the problem is that with the gas deal is that you lose a lot of minerals yourself by doing it.
Yeah.
So you become very susceptible to said all-in.
That's why we build sentries. They don't cost minerals.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, you become fairly susceptible to that all-in, or if he just goes down and takes himself a natural fairly early on, and you've committed into defending an all-in that's not coming by building a lot of sentries, then you're behind.
That's actually one of the best responses you can do, and if you fail to scout the expo, then you're pretty screwed for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyways, we do have the gateways finishing. Just one gas for both of these players, so no early gas before core shenanigans. Both cybernetics cores timed exactly the same to the second, and the number of chrono boost is the same. And we do see that Viper is taking his second gas. Giant sees this, and how is he going to react? He's getting a Zealot, so
Yeah, this is about the time when he needs to plant down his gas or start thinking of some type of fairly heavy aggression, since gas is more or less everything in a PvP, and then we see the gas coming down from Giant, so it's not going to be too uncomfortably late, which is, you know, going to be fairly good for when we see the kind of standard as well, just Zealot into Stalker, which is actually very standard. Sometimes you see a sentry coming out instead, which we do from Myth Viper, and in my thoughts and in my book, that means that he's going to be going for Stargate most likely behind this.
Well, we do have a third gate being planted down, so I don't know. This build, it tells me two things. One, I want to be really defensive. Second, I want to buy myself time. Now the question is, what are you buying yourself time for? Because the only reason you would want to buy yourself time is if you want to tech or if you want to expand. And right now, Viper is doing neither of these.
Yeah, with third sentry as well, it's using so much gas. This almost has to be some type of an expansion build.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, almost nothing else really makes sense.
Yeah, we have a 3-gate from Giant as well, though. But it is looking to be a little bit more of an aggressive 3-gate since he's got a forward pylon already placed down. And it's not really going to do a lot when you're facing off against an opponent that has gone triple sentry straight off. And there we finally see the Stargate going down. So I will call this as a victory for myself in my thought process. Just a very weird one.
Yeah, usually you see the Stargate going down a little bit sooner, like either after the first gate or after the second gate. But this time the Stargate is quite a bit late, I have to say.
Yeah, it is fairly late. I wonder what Giant is going to do behind this. He's going to build a robo facility, so that means that the Stargate should be, as we say in Pokemon terms, super effective.
Yeah, it should be. It should be, but you know, we do have a scouting zealot actually from Viper, and he saw the robo facility. I wonder if he actually. Well, you don't need to click on a robo facility, I guess, since it's a little bit larger than a Stargate. But I mean smaller. But you know, maybe he just wants to get an observer out in case this is DTs, because all he saw were sentries and zealots. So you know, whenever you see this as a Protoss, your conclusion is, well, it's DTs or Stargate, because nothing else makes sense, right? If it was some type of blank play or robo play, you would have seen Immortals and not a lot of sentries if it was a robo play. And if it was blink, you would have seen less zealots and way more stalkers. As it is, yeah, it was the Observer, and I wonder if Giant will follow this up with an Immortal or not.
I don't think so. He's currently halfway through with his robo bay, and he needs to have 400 minerals to really make it work if he wants to go up towards the Colossi tech. But he is going to go for that Immortal, so he's going to be a little bit delayed when it comes to actually getting the tech completely up and rolling with what he's gone for. And this could really come back to bite him, because we now have 4 Phoenix out on the map and we've got a 5th one on its way. And if he goes in towards anything that includes the robo bay, he's going to be fairly pooped.
I think it is now absolutely clear that Viper is going for an all-in move with these Phoenixes. These Phoenixes will be very instrumental in picking up the Stalkers. The Sentries most likely will be the first target. There we go, one of them goes down, second goes down, and still all the Phoenixes stay alive. They do have more energy for those lifts. And look at that, cancelling the... Whoa. Cancelling the Immortal... No, I mean out of the robo.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he cancelled it and then started remaking it again. Okay, here we go. This fight on the ramp. Phoenixes will be very important here, as well as the Sentry force fields. The Immortal is quite trapped. All the probes have to be pulled right now, but the Zealots are in a really good spot, holding their ground up on the ramp. Now, that being said, those Stalkers behind did a really good job. Now, the problem for Giant is that his Zealot line right now is non-existent, and the success of this push depends highly on how much energy was expended, either or both on the Phoenixes and the Sentries.
Yeah, the Immortal is being lifted off. I don't really know why he's lifting up Immortals, because they do absolutely no damage at all to Zealots and Sentries, but it has still been lifted off. The Phoenix are starting to dwindle down. Only one of them left, if I'm not mistaken. The Immortal has now fallen, but we've got tons and tons of Sentries and Zealots. Just force fielding and letting the Zealots hit the Stalkers, and this should be in the bag of Myth Viper. He does now finally force field around these Stalkers, but his Zealots have been dwindled down fairly nice. So Giant is doing his very best to hold this off, and it looks like he might be able to for quite a little bit of a time, but now the pylon is up on a high ground for Viper, and he is going to be starting to charge for lifts off one of the Stalkers as well with that Phoenix.
Awesome force fields that are helping a Viper tremendously to keep this push alive, but now that the energy units have run out of energy, no force fields are left, and there are still 3 Stalkers out for Giant. He can start kiting these guys, but unfortunately, very unlucky building placement for him. He found out that he cannot kite any longer, and he had to run through the Zealot line. More Zealots being warped in, and those Stalkers are really low on HP. They're going to go down any second, and GGs are not far away with 25 workers killed for Viper. I think Giant is just, trying to calm down a little bit and playing this out, because he knows that he is out from today's qualifiers.
Yeah, he can micro that Stalker all he wants, but with no economy behind this, with nothing to really do anything, he'll die as soon as the Zealot gets the hit off, and then we see the GG call from Giant. Only one supply